bringing in yellow pollen. That's not from, that's not Bee Pro. Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. Man, I didn't know if I was going to get a video shot this weekend or not. So it's President's Day, February, and the day started out, it was really warm and humid, and it's supposed to get up in the 70s today, but it was really cloudy. The bees were flying a little bit, but not much, and a lot of the crew was out working on the house. We had the plumber, he ran the sewer line over to my septic that's on our barn, and then they ran the trench for the electrical, so they did all that today, and the plumber got the sewer, it's hooked up. So at the end I'll do a point of view drone shot and circle around and show you where it's at right now. So they're coming right along. They're about to start cabinetry and tiling inside, so that's where they're at on that. So later on in the day, the wind kicked up out of the north and it got cold, and everyone was running for their coats and it got cold, and then the sun came out and the wind quit. So it's just barely blowing out of the north, but it's probably about 60 degrees right now. It's pretty nice. So I thought, well, the sun's out, I'll get down here and shoot a video. And man, the bees are all flying and they're bringing in a yellowish pollen. So tells me, I think that's maple pollen, I'm not sure, but I'm not a pollen expert. I'm not a bee expert either, but I play one on YouTube. But anyway, let's so I'm going to get into this Hive 18 again and just do a quick check on that, and if there's time I might do a random inspection on another stronger hive and just see how they're working on that pollen patty and check that out. So I put some sugar water in that hive number 18 a week ago, and I want to see how much they've consumed. It's not a real strong hive. There was like 4 frames of bees in a double deep, which is not good, but that hive, I went back and looked at my notes, and when I weighed it going into the winter, it was heavy. So they've consumed all their honey and they've downsized their population. So let's get in here and let's get started. Okay, here is the entrance of Hive 18, and they're onto that pollen too. I don't see as many going in there with it, but I have seen some. There goes one right there. Let's get in here and check them out. There's a couple. So I reduced that entrance down to the smallest setting. I reduced it down because of the population of bees. Boy, the air is just full of bees. They're all out flying right now. I'll try not to smoke them very much. So they're working on the sugar's getting eaten up, and they're working on these patties from the side. So I can get a close up here. So you can see how they're consuming that pollen patty in, chewing that wax paper out of their way and getting in there and getting to it and eating on that sugar. There is actually 1 frame of honey in there. So let's get in there and check out that feeder and see how much sugar water they consumed. Get this feeder shim off of here. Now when I set this down, I'm going to make sure I'm not going to set it flat on the ground. Smoker's about to go out because I don't want to smash a bunch of bees, so I'm just going to tilt it up so it's resting against something. Well, let me show you what I found. They've consumed the sugar water down to there. So that's about that much. Also, what I see here is there's a bunch of drowned bees in there. I didn't think this kind of feeder would do that. Because see how they're walking on the sides? I don't get why that happened. So, anybody has experience with these feeders, let me know. I sure don't care for that at all. I put it in there just like I've seen other people do it. It does come with wood shim that goes across the top and 3 holes and little kind of mesh for them to crawl down in and get to. But when I used those, these things would kind of space out there on the side, and the bees could get in around the side and they couldn't get out and drown. So I just quit using them. Then I saw some other beekeepers using them, and they just put them in without anything on them like that. So I thought I was doing a good thing there. Well, they have consumed a lot, but I wonder how many dead bees are below all that. Hopefully it's just a surface layer there, and that's it. So I'd appreciate anyone that's used those things. Is that normal? And is that just a thin layer of bees there on the top, I'm hoping. So man, that really sucks. Look at that. That is aggravating. I mean, what if the queen's down in there? I think I'm just going to take that out. That really ticks me off. I guess I'll open feed this so it doesn't go bad. Now I got to go get a frame. Ah, that's horrible. I'm going to check for the queen now. Okay, she went for a swim. This hive didn't need anything like that. Boy, they're packing in the pollen. Look at that. It's full of that yellow. Don't see her there. Hopefully she's on this one. If I remember right, she had a green mark on her. I ain't seeing her. Ah, there she is. Woo! Thank goodness. Oops. And I just kicked this stupid thing over. There she is right there. So she didn't go swimming. And I just kicked over a half a gallon of syrup. Let's see, she was on the left. So because I do these videos to help new beekeepers and just to kind of generate interest in beekeeping overall. And a lot of experienced beekeepers watch too. So I'm going to post this video because hopefully someone will learn from what I just did there and use those correctly or don't use them at all. I see people use them all the time, so either I did something wrong or that's normal. Maybe the fact I put it in the middle had something to do with it. After I watched this video, after I posted it, and I was watching me put that thing in there, and I was like, why did I put that in the middle? I don't know. All right. So let me go get that other frame. In fact, I'm going to scoot them over one this direction and put that frame on this side. Now I'm probably going to kill a bunch of bees over here on the ground and attract a bunch of thousands of ants. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go get that frame and get that in, and we'll get this buttoned up. While I'm going to chase that, I'm going to cover them up to keep their warmth in a little bit. Yeah, so look, don't cry over spilt sugar syrup. There's some floating in there now. God. See, when I was talking about propping that thing up, that's what I was talking about. And then it all went to crap from there. Okay, let's go get that frame. Okay. So while I was walking up to the barn and back to get my frame, I was thinking about what could have went wrong. And I think what happened was karma happened, because when I stood over there and shot my intro, I said, I'm not a beekeeping expert, but I play one on YouTube. That's what did it. I'm telling you. Be a smart aleck and bite you every time. But seriously, I also thought that if there would have been a little floater piece of wood in that, that wouldn't have happened. So maybe that's what people do. I don't know. I've never seen that when they use them. I've seen these commercial beekeepers have those in this position right here, and they show up with a thing that looks like a gas pump, and they just fill it up. So I want to, this has some fresh wax on it, so I want to get it as close to them as possible for when that spring flow hits, they'll draw it out nice. So I think I'll put it right here. Well, that's the one that's got the honey on it. Let's see. Yeah, so that's honey and pollen. Well, since there's pollen there and that queen's there, I'm going to leave that alone, because she'll use that, or the other bees will use that pollen off this frame to feed the eggs and the larvae that she's laying on that frame. So I'll put it right here. So yeah, Jerome Bee Farm, we show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this one was definitely ugly. And I apologize. Usually my stuff's more squared away. All right, out of the way. Let's look at this. Yeah, they're working on that good. It's starting to dry out a little bit, which is not good. That's Cayman Reynolds' recipe that has the vegetable oil in it to keep it from drying out so fast, so maybe I didn't put enough. They're not even starting on that one yet. It's kind of dry where it's exposed. That's probably not good. Okay. So they got food and they got pollen patties, and they're hauling in pollen from maple trees. And I took out the bee death trap. This hive might survive in spite of me. Yeah, I know that's bad on the ground, but what am I gonna do? It'll soak in. Too bad it's not in the middle of the day when they're all flying. They probably would get a lot of this and suck it up before it soaks into the dirt. So I was gonna go in here in number 17 and check it out, but gosh, I'm just not in the mood now. And there is a bee crawling across my chest. Nice. Wow. I don't know what else could happen. I better get out of here. So I'm going to end this video right freaking now and get out of here. We'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.